Well, hello and welcome to At Home today. I'm so glad you joined us. It just wouldn't be the same without you. Really important for you to be there every time we're on because, you know, when part of the family's not around, you feel something lacking. Well, that's the way we feel when you've missed the program. And I'm excited today because, you know, almost from the beginning of At Home, a really wonderful station in the Chicago area, WCFC TV 38 has been with us. And you folks out there, I heard that on Monday afternoon at 4 o'clock, a lot of you are in front of the television watching At Home, and we're really, really glad. Today, my very special guest is the wife of the president of Channel 38. Shirley Rose is here to cook up some really good dishes. You're going to be interested in this. She's going to make something called Kugel, K-U-G-E-L, and we've been trying to find the definition of it, and we haven't come up with it, so maybe you could help us with that. But she's going to be here cooking in just a few minutes. I want to read some of the letters that we've received from you folks there in Chicago. It says, thank you so much for having a program that helps people enjoy trying new recipes that are for the average family. Too many of today's cooking shows are too complicated or require ingredients that you don't normally have around the house. Several times I've tried new recipes that I had to buy different spices and ingredients that I didn't already have. My family didn't like them, and I have several spices I will never use again. This one is just great. This lady says she's from Chicago, Illinois, and the other one's from Ithaca, Illinois. She says, Dear Arlene, I just love your program, but 25 members never can find you. We are of different faiths and all agree we get more guidance to the Lord with one of your quotes. Wow. Your simple one-liners are carried in our thoughts for months. You are so real. God works in your hands, and we find you, Arlene, doing his work in your kitchen and sending his message to all faiths. Television is a one-line quote. Just ask him today. Yes, yes, Arlene, right. I'm tired and I'm getting dinner on and I can't make it. My hands hurt. My TV's on and I'm watching you as I chop the vegetables. My time's running out for dinner and I hear from you. Just ask him for help. And I do ask, and somehow all goes well as he answers my plea. This is daily. I have, and many of my friends, listen 1/2 hour sermons, an hour sermon, and guess what? We can't recall what they said. Oh my. But your one-liners help for over a year. That gets us through hard times. Somehow the TV channel changes your time. Lately it was on Mondays and Fridays, and we were asking to get you, but we have you now on Fridays at 4 p.m. There we are in Chicago. Thanks so much. That's from a lady from Chicago, Illinois. This one is just great, and I love, look at this, isn't this great? I love, I mean, it's in the middle of summer, but here we are, let it snow. So we got this a couple of months ago, but I love it. She says, Dear Arlene, I want you to know how very much the At Home show means to me. It is the high point of each week. God uses you to say just what I need to hear each week. The recipes are delicious. I think you are providing the mentoring that many of us as homemakers need, but rarely have in the 90s. Thank you, Arlene, and God bless you. This is from Kim, and she's also from Wheaton, Illinois. Well, thanks, Illinois. We appreciate all your kind comments. We're glad that you like At Home. And I know that you're going to really enjoy my guest, Shirley. And so get your paper and pencils ready because we'll be right back in just a minute. Here's today's At Home hint. Here's today's at-home hint. Don't discard the rinds of grapefruits, oranges, or lemons. Grate them and put them in tightly covered jars and store in the refrigerator. They make excellent flavorings for cakes and frostings.
For updates, pictures, stories, and more, like us on Facebook. To watch hundreds of classic episodes, subscribe to us on YouTube. And to get hundreds of free recipes, visit ctvn.org/athome.
Well, it's with great pleasure that I introduce to you Shirley Rose. Good to have you here, Shirley.
It's my pleasure, Arlene. Thank you so much for having me.
And you know, I enjoyed the visit. I was there several months ago, and we were able to do some recipes, and I noticed Jerry was enjoying himself.
Oh,
How's he doing?
He's doing fine. Yeah, he came to Pittsburgh with me.
Wonderful. Well, we're glad to have you in the city. And you tell all the folks, fine folks back there at TV 38 that we said hello.
I certainly will. You're a favorite on Channel 38. Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Are.
Well, today, what are we going to make?
We're going to make two dishes that are very easy, Arlene, and that's the kind of cooking I do, real easy things. The other reason I chose these two dishes is, you know, I love to make a big dinner on Sundays. I have 3 children that are home. They're all back in the area.
Oh, wow.
I have 1 grandchild
I
and
know.
a son-in-law.
All right, now tell me the grandchild's name. That's good.
Macy Savannah.
Oh, how
she's
cute.
10 months old.
10 months old.
And she's the joy of my life.
I'm
but they
sure.
all come over on Sundays. But I sing in the choir. I don't have like a lot of time to prepare.
right.
And Sunday afternoons I'm tired. So I
That's
like
right.
things that I can put on when I leave for church. So
and,
that's
and even do some of the
and do
preparation on
some
Saturday.
before.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And you know, mashed potatoes are great on Sundays, but
Takes so long.
it's hard when you get home. And I've never been successful at making them ahead and just microwaving them. I don't like
the
them.
taste of
I don't
them.
like them
I don't
either.
either.
So the potatoes Kugel recipe we're going to do today is excellent because you can make it up the night before or that morning and then just put it in the oven
Good.
when you get home.
Real
so,
good.
So
okay,
we
this
start,
is what we're talking about, Kugel, right?
Right, and I don't know what Kugel means. I should have asked my son because he lived in Israel for a year, and you know, it is a Jewish dish. And Jeff tells me that Kugel is a staple of the Jewish diet in Israel, the Israelis.
All right, now what are we doing here?
All right, first we're taking a bag of the Ore-Ida country
These are
style
shredded?
hash. It doesn't have to be this country style, but just shredded
Whatever.
potatoes. Yeah,
But they have
hash
to be
browns.
like that, right? That thin.
They have to be at least as thin or even thinner.
Thinner.
I use some a little thinner than this sometimes.
This is how big? What's the size?
This is a big bag.
20
it's like,
ounces?
Yeah, it's
26
over a
ounces.
pound. Yeah,
Okay.
so a big bag.
Okay.
And
Let me get rid of this.
and the thing is, you know, you could even use fresh potatoes, but I hate to
grate
grate.
it, yeah.
I hate to grate, so I use the hash browns.
Okay.
Then we're going to grate a little bit of carrot. You can use as much carrot as you actually would like. I only use a little bit for color.
Color, yeah,
If you
I
use
think so,
2
too.
whole carrots, it's going to taste like carrot.
And it will also probably color it, right?
It'll make it real golden, which is okay,
Yeah.
but I want it to look like potatoes.
Sure.
So I only use just a little bit of carrot for color.
Okay.
Okay. And then we're going to grate an onion. I just hate this part, but...
Oh, would you want me to do it?
No, I'll do it. So I'll do it.
She'll force herself.
When you're at my station, you do the dirty
do
work.
the dirty
When I'm
work.
at your station, I'll do the dirty work. But anyway, you want to grate this real small. Or I guess if you had a food processor,
processor. We
and you
could've
want
done
to
that,
just do it
sure.
really, really small. But anyway, it's grated. It's 1 onion. And then we're going to add a clove of garlic after this.
Okay, should I do the garlic? You
Yeah,
think?
why don't you start doing the garlic
Okay.
for me?
I'm going to do the mincing with this little
Good.
gadget here.
Yeah, I was looking at that. That's
because
neat.
you don't have to get it on your fingers.
I know, and then you can never get the smell of it.
I hate
love
it.
garlic, but I don't
do
like
too.
it on my hands.
I understand. I agree with you. And so we're just going to put it right in here?
Yeah, just put it right. The neat thing about this recipe is you just dump everything in together.
That's what I
great.
like. I hate when you have to do a bowl for this and a bowl for that and a bowl for something else.
This is so easy.
It does not. Let me get a knife over here. Let me get a knife back here. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to use the big pieces of onion. Do we have a trash?
Okay, yeah, just throw it there.
Great. Okay, so we have our onion and our carrot.
Okay.
And put that in.
And 1 clove of garlic
And 1 clove of garlic.
that we've minced, or you could chop that fine probably, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could chop
You
it
could do
really
either
fine.
way.
No, we should beat our eggs. Can I use this little bowl
Sure.
to beat the eggs? We probably should. Actually, you can do that first. If I'd done it first, we wouldn't have even
Doesn't
had
matter.
to. Yeah, just 1 bowl.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll beat a couple
And
of
this
eggs.
is just 2 eggs?
2 eggs, and you can go ahead and dump that in there if you'd like.
Okay. Will do. Well, Shirley, how long has Channel 38 been there?
Arlene, we're celebrating our 20th anniversary.
Can
May
you
30th.
believe
Yeah,
that?
we just celebrated our 20th anniversary
Can you
in May.
believe that?
And it's incredible. I can't believe we've been there for 20 years.
And can you imagine how far God's brought you, huh?
He really has. It's
Ah.
just amazing. And the miracles he's done to keep us on the air, and he's really blessed us. Chicago's not an easy market.
No.
But
What's the third
but
largest
what
in
a
the country,
potential.
isn't it?
What
Third
a
largest
potential.
market.
We have a potential of 10 million people in our viewing audience. There we go. And God has really, really blessed us. So
Yeah.
we just dumped the
Well,
egg.
I know when we got there, when we came several months ago, got off the plane, walking through the airport, and the man was cleaning up there, you know, and he says, "Oh, you're that cooking lady, I watch you."
recognized
Yeah,
you. Oh,
you know,
that's
which was
great.
neat. So people are watching out there, you know, they're,
They certainly are.
Yeah.
You're a favorite.
oh,
We're going to do
nice to hear.
two tablespoons of vegetable oil.
Okay, now what do you think the oil does? Just keeps it moist or
It probably
something?
just keeps it from sticking together too
pan,
much or to the
okay.
pan, yeah.
Now, does this need to be greased? Maybe I could be greasing
Yeah,
this
could you
while you're
grease the
filming.
pan for
Sure.
me? Sure. I'll just mix
Notice
it.
how I get
Then
the
we have
smelly,
2
sloppy job. That's all right, Shirley, not to
2
worry. I don't
teaspoons
mind.
of salt. Did you measure that out for me already?
I think she had salt. Sandy, did you have salt out for her?
Anyway,
Yeah.
2 teaspoons of salt.
Okay, we got salt right here, Shirley. Right
Super.
here, salt.
There it is. Great.
Yeah. You can. There we go.
Fantastic. And I suppose you could adjust this ingredient, you know, if
you didn't want to use,
Yeah, if you
sure.
needed it a little salty, or if you, but I find the 2 teaspoons is perfect.
Now, does
It's
Jerry
plenty.
like this?
He really does. And my whole
your
family
family?
love this. My whole family love this.
Now, do you have boys and girls or just boys?
I have 2 boys and 1 daughter, and of course my baby is the one that's married. And the boys, you know, if any girls are interested, I have a 26-year-old and a 23-year-old.
Don't say that because you'll get letters like you don't believe.
And they're very handsome. But
I'm
no,
sure.
but
Nice,
anyway.
nice, and they love,
Nice
and they
boys.
love their family, and they love.
Okay, we got the salt. Now, I put on this recipe Italian breadcrumbs. You don't really have to use Italian breadcrumbs. You can use whole wheat, but you know, whenever any recipe calls for breadcrumbs, I use the Italian.
See, I do too, because I like the seasoning,
I
don't you?
love the flavoring. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like a little more flavoring is not going to hurt. So I use
right.
the Italian breadcrumbs. It was a fourth
Okay.
a cup. And then, let's see, I think that's all we know, the powdered milk.
Okay,
Yeah,
here's the powdered
3/4
milk.
cup, that's it. And then that's really all we
What do
put
you think that
in.
does to it?
You know, I've wondered about that. I don't know.
Because there's no moisture to it. But wonder what I'm sure it enriches
It probably
but
makes it creamier.
Ah.
Isn't this a weird recipe?
It
I mean,
is.
it's just the strangest
Because
combination of
I
ingredients.
keep thinking you should be adding something that will make it dry. I mean, make it moist because it looks so dry.
That's what I thought. And it actually is kind of a dry dish. But I was very, very surprised the first time I made this because I
Yeah.
expected it to be really, really dry, you know. But the eggs, you know.
That's what holds it together too. Looks wonderful.
And actually, this is such a large package of potatoes that we might even add 1 more egg.
Okay, do you
But
wanna-
we could, but
Okay, I'll get-
yeah. I think probably we could.
Carry
But
on.
it really does appear dry, so don't worry if your dish appears dry because it really does. It's a real
Yeah.
strange.
It's different. And you said you thought it was from
It's a
the
Jewish dish, and my son, who lived in Israel for a year, said that the Israelis have this almost every meal, but sometimes it is meat and sometimes it's dairy. As you know, on a kosher household, you don't mix the two.
Right.
And so sometimes he said it's meat and sometimes it's dairy, and of course this is dairy because we have the eggs and the cheese.
But the main staple of it is always potato.
That's right.
Got it.
That's right.
Oh, this looks wonderful.
And like I said, I have enjoyed making this because I don't have to worry about peeling potatoes, making mashed potatoes.
That's right. Is that Sunday dinner always a family time?
Yes, every Sunday.
And it's nice to keep, you know, I'm amazed at how many people don't spend time at a table with their family.
Well, sometimes it's the only time we get our whole family
Always.
together, but every Sunday we have.
That
Okay,
is
we
a
can
wonderful routine.
put that into the
Okay.
pan, and of course it's going to be flaky, so we're going to have to kind of press it down together to make
Okay.
it solid. Yeah, that extra egg was great.
Yeah,
because
you
that was
can
a
see
little
it holding it together, can't
That
you?
was a little bit larger package of potatoes than I usually use, so that was great.
Okay,
Okay.
here we are.
Just press
now
it
you're
into
going
the
to press
pan.
it down. And what degree oven does this go in?
Yeah, I think it's 350.
350
Yeah,
for
350
how long?
For about 40 minutes. Now, 40 to 45, maybe a little longer, depending on your oven or how big a bag of potatoes you used. But what you want to look for, it almost rises kind of like a cake.
Ah.
And so you just kind of look to where it looks like it's risen a little bit in the middle, and then the edges will be slightly brown.
Okay.
And then you know it's done.
That's
and then you want to take it out, and then for the last 5 minutes, we spread the cheddar cheese on top.
And that's about a cup?
It's about a cup of grated
And then you
cheddar cheese.
Put it back in for just what, 5 minutes?
or so until it browns.
Now, do you serve this with a spoon?
No, but as you can see, it's kind of solid. And what you do, this is what makes it so nice to serve for company because it looks real fancy. You can cut it into squares and serve it in a square.
Neat.
And then you garnish the top with sour cream and chives.
Wonderful.
So it looks really
We're
nice.
going to be back with the main course of this wonderful dinner in just a moment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
If you love At Home with Arlene Williams, then subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have hundreds of episodes with all your favorite recipes, holidays, and friends.
Say hi to your fan club. Hi, fan club.
And don't forget to click the bell so you'll never miss another episode of At Home.
Well, we're back with my very special guest, Shirley Rose from Terrific TV 30. I'm going to coin a new phrase for you. Terrific TV 38 in Chicago.
We'll use that. We'll use
yeah,
that.
it's great. And she's about to make, we've already got a potato kugel in the oven. If you missed it, you really missed something interesting. But now we're going to talk about the main course, which is a beef brisket. If you've ever seen that in the supermarket and wondered, how do I prepare that? She's going to tell you.
You know, several years ago, Arlene, I had surgery, and the ladies in my church were so nice. They brought over some meals, and that's how I discovered this recipe. And I've been using it ever since. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
First of all, you need to choose a beef brisket. Now, I was telling Arlene, sometimes they're half, so they won't be this big, but that's okay. Just adjust your
This is
cooking
about
time.
5 pounds,
Yeah,
though.
this is perfect because this will make 2 meals,
2 meals,
easy,
yeah.
2 or 3 meals, depending on how many people in your family. But a lot of times I've told people brisket, and they said, "Is that red stuff that you buy that's like corned beef
Corned
brisket?"
beef,
I'm
that's
like,
what they
"No."
think it is,
They think it
yeah.
is. But this is in your roast section. You want to
Right.
find this in your roast section.
Or
I don't
even
know-
ask the
Butcher,
the
yes.
meat. Yeah, he'll
And
do
I
it.
don't know if you can see, but brisket is a cheaper cut of meat. It's like a stringy kind of meat, so you have to cook it slowly for a long time.
Long time, that's right.
And it's actually would be inexpensive, except it's about as much as an average roast because there's a lot of trimming that has to take place.
It takes a lot of work to it.
It does take a lot of work, but it's wonderful. And you want, when you slice it, you want to slice it across the cross grain.
Right, like you do a flank steak, right? Because
Yes,
the flank
I think
steak is
so.
stringy too if
I
you
think
don't.
so. So it's kind of stringy. But what we're going to do in the marinade, we're going to make it so tasty. You're going to
good.
love it. And again, this is great for like a Sunday morning before you go to church because you have to cook it for a long time. And most things, they're overcooked by
That's
the time you
exactly
get
right.
home.
Get home, that's
so you
right.
cook it on a slow oven for a long time.
Okay, now what you do when it's stringy like this that I've learned, that like you said, you have to have something to break down those fibers to
Exactly.
make it
To
tender.
tenderize
And that's
it.
what you're going to do with your marinade,
That's
right?
what we're gonna do with
Okay,
the marinade.
Let's put that together.
And you can do it, you can just, if you're in a hurry, and a lot of times I do this, Arlene, I just dump everything on my
Oh,
thing
do you?
in the roasting pan.
Oh, okay.
But what works even better is to put your meat in a bag to marinate it overnight. Because then you
does.
can keep flipping
Back
it
and
over.
forth.
So what we want to do is we want to take about a third of a bottle of liquid smoke.
Okay.
And is that about a third? Yeah.
Probably.
Probably
yeah.
we could shake in even a little tiny bit
You want
more.
to do a little bit more?
Yeah.
Let's be dangerous today.
Yeah.
Come on.
I just shake it on until it's nice and covered.
Okay.
Okay. Then we want to use, let's see, what's my amount? I believe it's 1 teaspoon of the garlic salt. Yes, 1 teaspoon
right.
of garlic salt, 1 teaspoon of onion salt. And
you're good. You remember what all these are. They put them out for me, and I say, what is
is this the celery seeds?
I think
I don't
so.
have my glasses on. Okay.
I think
this is
so.
the celery seeds. Now the celery seeds just make it taste wonderful.
Does it?
2 teaspoons of celery seeds because you'll kind of taste those as you're eating it. Oh, it's great.
Those perks of flavor, huh?
And then 2 teaspoons of the Worcestershire sauce. Is that, do we have
Maybe
that?
that's what we put in. We have to put this in.
That's what it was. I didn't
Oh,
think
go,
that looked like a
Shirley.
third of a
Oh,
bottle.
yeah.
So you were just bragging on me that I knew what the
Well,
ingredients
no, but when I started to put that in, I thought that looks lighter than that. Must
Yeah.
have been the
So as
Worcestershire.
much of this really as you
Oh,
want,
go
depending
for
on
it.
how big your
Live
brisket
dangerous.
is.
Let's
you know.
do it.
Yeah, let's
You
put
said
it
you
in
can
there.
really taste that smoke flavor in there too.
Absolutely. This liquid smoke is wonderful. I've used this for a regular roast as well.
you?
Yeah, you can use it to marinate a regular
Wonderful.
roast or steaks or anything. But it gives that smoky smokehouse flavor that's so
Yes.
great. Okay, and then we do, that's all we
we do
marinated
there.
in. Yeah, that's
Okay.
all. And so then you said you were going to pour this into your bag, right?
Yeah.
So
Wait, let's put the meat in first.
Okay, let's put the meat in
Let's do the meat in first. Yeah.
because I usually just do it in my pan, but this is really so much
This is-
better.
you'll see. I mean, we just found this when we were preparing for this program, how easy it is to use these big sealable plastic bags.
Absolutely.
And then what we did was just, if you hold the bottom and I'll snap the top, and we try to get most of the air out of it.
Okay.
Kind of can't use all because then it'll be in there. But look how nice that is. Just
That is
turn
wonderful.
it over. Look at that. Nothing comes out. You don't have to get a fork every time you have to turn it. You just keep flipping
oh,
it.
I like this.
Isn't that great?
It's wonderful. So
Yeah.
anyway, you want to marinate it overnight. So
Okay,
you
so this goes in
prepare
the fridge.
in the
All
fridge overnight.
Okay, I'm going to set it aside. And then in the morning, what do you do? Tell us what you do.
Then when you're ready to bake it, you get up before you go to church. All you have to do is you put it in your pan. You sprinkle a little. You use 1½ teaspoons of salt and 1 teaspoon of pepper. So it'd be like 3/4 teaspoon on one
Right.
side, 3/4 on the other side, and so on. And then that's all you do before you put it
That's
in the
it?
oven. You cover it tightly.
Okay.
And bake it for 3 to 5 hours, depending on how big it is. If
Okay.
it's like for 3 to 5 hours, you want, if it's like about a 4 or 5 pounds, you want to bake it 3 to 5 hours.
hours,
If
okay.
it's smaller, you adjust the cooking
Okay,
time.
now I'm going to get the one that we've been cooking out of the oven.
And you can smell it all over the
Yes,
studio.
you can. You certainly can. This is what we've been cooking for about 4 hours,
Oh,
I would
great.
say. And I think that probably this will be just about ready.
Now, as I said, Arlene, I might mention, you see it makes a lot of juice.
Oh, it sure does. Look at the juice in that pan.
It makes a lot of juice, and of course some of
Wow.
it's FAT, you know?
Yeah, well, we can skim that off. We can get that
But
out.
you can skim it off.
Now
And-
what do we do?
All right, now it's done, except you want it for about the last 30 minutes. And really, you can. It's not an exact
Yeah,
cooking
right,
time. If you're
right.
late getting home from church, no problem.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. So
But
then
you would put this on and then prepare your vegetables, and then when it all comes out at the same time.
it all
That's
comes
what I
out the
like.
same. Yeah, you could put your potatoes, Kugel in. Now, I would pour some of this juice off.
Okay.
But what we want to do is just you can use your favorite barbecue sauce. And I know everybody has their favorite. So just use your favorite. And this is real important, too, because I've tried it without the barbecue sauce. It's
Doesn't
not
taste
nearly
as
as
good,
good.
huh?
It's not nearly as good.
So we just baste it on
Just
there.
baste it. And then you want to cook it for the last half hour uncovered.
Do we need to take some of that broth off there? It's going to be all right, or do you want me to do it? Because I can do it if you want me to.
Okay, why don't you pour a little bit off?
Let's pour it in that bowl right
and
there.
then it'll hold our barbecue sauce a little bit better.
And this is just what she prepared the marinade in, so we can still skim the fat off of this.
And you'll use this for gravy.
For your au jus
You can make au jus or gravy. If I'm serving this with mashed potatoes, then I make a gravy. But if I'm serving it like with potatoes Kugel and I really don't need a lot of gravy, what I do is I just slice it and put it in the au jus.
Oh, okay. Then this goes back in the oven just for a half hour or so. And that gives it that barbecued, wonderful. I wish you could really smell this because this is totally incredible.
And for company, Arlene, they'll think that you're just the most talented cook, and it's so easy.
Oh, sure, this looks great.
Well,
we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back in just a minute, and we're going to do a final wrap-up. But we want you to be able to get all the recipes that you've seen today, plus the rest of the month's worth of recipes. And we want to tell you how to do that, so listen real, real closely.
To get all the recipes from today's show, plus hundreds of others, just click the link in the video description or visit our website, ctvn.org/at-home.
Well, we're here in the dining room, and I'd like to introduce to you Jerry Rose. This is Shirley's husband. He is the president of Channel 38. So nice to have you.
Well, thank you very much. What an opportunity. This is tremendous. This is exciting.
Well, I enjoyed being with you folks when we were there just several months ago. You have a wonderful facility and nice, warm people.
That's great to hear.
Well, you were a big hit.
Well, thank you.
I don't know if you're aware of that or not, but you were a big hit in Chicago. You're going to have to come back. The program, of course, does a wonderful job, and I assume you get a lot of response from Chicago.
We really do. Hundreds of letters, just beautiful letters. And they're nice, warm people in Chicago, just like these two, and that's great. And Shirley, now we have to talk again. Now, tell us, the viewers, what we've prepared today.
All right, we have prepared barbecue brisket, which is really not barbecued. We've marinated with liquid smoke to give it that flavor, and then put a little barbecue sauce on top.
And I'll tell you, this is so tender. And again, you cut across the grain when you serve it in thin slices, okay?
And then we've done potatoes Kugel, which is potatoes mixed with some real strange ingredients, but it turns out nice.
And look how nice the squares cut, and then you've garnished with what? What's on top?
With sour cream, and you can use the light if you'd like, and fresh chives. We use the dried chives, but fresh chives look so nice.
Yeah,
and,
beautiful.
Just as
a little bit of broccoli there. And what we've done is just added some dilled carrots, because you remember color is really important when you want to balance out a meal. So there's your dilled carrots, and we added just a small salad of some peaches and cottage cheese and a fresh strawberry and maybe a nice dinner roll. And what more could you want? Good friends around the table, good food on the table, and everybody just sharing together. That's a pleasant evening.
And this is one of our favorite family meals on Sunday. Yeah, this is what we do on Sunday with the whole family.
That's what Shirley said, and you know, it's really important. If you haven't prepared a meal for your family in a long time, come on, why don't you try Shirley's? This is easy to do, and your kids are going to have a memory they'll never forget. You putting all that love into preparing a meal for them, because they're special to you, and family are special. I know Shirley and Jerry's got family, little grandbabies that are so precious to them. This week, gather your children around you, gather your family, and let them know that they're really important to you, that you love them, that you care for them. Thanks, Shirley.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you folks were here. Well, and thank you for joining us, because it just wouldn't be the same without you here at home. We'll see you next time.
Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you'll never miss another episode of At Home. Thank you for watching.
Fresh produce provided by Jordan Banana, wholesalers of fresh fruit and vegetables in Dravosburg, Pennsylvania. Appliances provided by Decor Distinctive Appliances, a reflection of your good taste. Groceries provided by Foodland, where the answer is always yes. Cornerstone Television wishes to thank all our faithful viewers whose consistent prayers and financial support have made this program possible.